Good day, this 143rd day, meaningful moments, 365 days. So it is now 80 something degrees in Chicago. You might say it's sweating weather. And I was thinking about the meaningful moment and sweating, from heat. Interestingly enough, I had just done a post recently about feeling that fire, what's heating up inside. And there's a lot to that. We get the fire that ignites us and gives us the spark, like the inspiration to get up and go and do something. It's also the kind of fire that we feel kind of sweaty, a little bit of heat, because it's calling something forth, something that we're looking to transform perhaps. And I've had a couple of situations close to me with regards to this new kitten that we have in our home, Annie, and meeting Percy, and the level of patience it's requiring, making me feel like sweaty from, Sweatin Patience, I'd like to think it as, because there's all these little pieces of bringing them together and watching them come together and, kind of circling around again to, have them have that same meetup again. And then almost seems like, this is it. We've gone over that turning point and now they're going to be able to relax around each other. And then something else kind of comes up and it flares. And then there's, this little bit of cat hissing with one another and, and then it's, attempting it again. And it makes me think of relationships that we may have had or have now, when we find ourselves circling around and, there's a consciousness that awakens in us, and then we kind of circle around it again, and here we are kind of at it again and feeling that sweat come up from the patience involved. And, it's so interesting the way we feel it flare up. I'll be the one again to testify that patience was not always one of my virtues. I was definitely more inclined to use that fire to get up and go and do things. So being able to be and not necessarily do actively is definitely something I've been learning for the last, probably decade or so. And perhaps you have children in your lives, and one of your children or two or more brought that to your attention. Maybe it was a job situation that you had and something you learned from that or are learning from that right now, and it's bringing that for you right now. Maybe it's something that you're working on in yourself and you're, feeling that perspiration of that honest sweat to give yourself the patience to allow yourself to do that transformation. Whatever it is that's calling us in this moment of sweat, perspiration, energy, may we do it with a grace, and knowing that, everything unfolds in its own due time. Yes, it's true we live on the physical plane, and yes, it's true that we have to do something in order for it to create here and manifest on the physical form. But there's these in-between spots where we have to allow it to sit, especially when it involves individuals, particularly loved ones. I was talking today with one of my older children, and watching that unfold, what they're perceiving in their lives, in their relationships, in their work. And I think about this individual when they were just little and what that might have looked like for them then. And it's always so interesting, what we take up to the next level and what we find in that sweat of taking that deep breath and having the patience. So I'm welcoming the sweat, and with that, the patience. feeling it today, really heated up, and embracing it, trusting for whatever it is that you're working on, the patience you're needing to bring up out of yourself and stretch into, and allow for things to be. Blessings upon your day. Aho, friends.